right, the images abound these days. YouTube, Twitter, you know the story. Whether it was Iran, that, of course, was just China. We can go on and on. The question is the world actually more disrupted, more violent, more out of control than ever? Or quite simply, are we seeing more of it, and is it basically the same as it has ever been? Cenk, host of the online show The Young Turks, also a blogger for the Huffington Post, joins us, representative effectively of this new era, and NBC's Tom Aspel, live in Baghdad, a veteran NBC journalist who's covered conflicts around the world, both pre and post-digital universe. Tom, I'm going to begin with you. What is your sense of the world today? In other words, is what we're seeing an evidence of a world that has gotten more violent and more out of control, or more just evidence that we can see it?
I think probably evidence that we can see it. I think violence has always been around, but one of the surprising things I think now is how quickly people will move towards violent confrontation when pushed, either by the strength of their convictions or the severity of their reaction against them will prompt them to react violently, in the knowledge that their actions will be seen around the world and possibly helped by sympathetic people.
So your argument is that the existence of
the
existence of the cameras and the fact that you can get an American audience, a Western European audience, an Asian, whatever it is, quickly, if you have a violent protest, actually makes folks more willing to escalate more quickly to violent situations, basically for publicity.
I think I think that's part of it, is that they can certainly get an audience, whether it's sympathetic or not, from different parts of the world, depending on the severity of their reaction. But also I think you'll find that in most violent confrontations, be they civil insurrections or civil wars or full-out confrontations, is that people, the amazing propensity people have to react violently against violence which is perpetrated against them. So if we take, for example, Afghanistan, Iraq, who in their right minds would react violently to the force arrayed against them in those countries? And yet people are still fighting, right down to what's happening in China today. A perceived injustice by one ethnic group against another will cause it, but I'm pretty sure that had the cameras not been around, then those things would either be over with very quickly or the level of violence would be lower.
Cenk, do you agree with that?
No, I don't. The people in Iran that were protesting in the streets were perfectly peaceful. It was the Iranian government that was cracking their skulls, and it's not like they were mugging for the camera. How about when Netta got shot out of nowhere? She didn't know a camera was there. She just got shot. And they've shut down the press completely. It's not like, oh, wow, YouTube is here, or that guy over there can Twitter it out, so let me join some protests. No, the protests in Iran and China are very real, and they come from the people. It's just, thank God that there's some sort of media in there and empowering them to show the rest of the world what their oppressive governments are doing.
Tom, how do you respond to that?
Well, actually, I said Iraq. I did not say Iran, but you're perfectly right. In Iran, they weren't armed, and yet the police, the security forces opened fire against them. My point is that people resort to violence as an extreme measure of protest in the hope that they'll gain something, usually economic advantage, usually something to do with ethnic discrimination or whatever in these various parts of the world. And people will react violently when pushed by authorities. They will react more readily with violence against them, it seems to me, in this day and age.
One country that stands out to me as sort of up to this point being relatively uncovered by any form of media, YouTube or otherwise, is North Korea. Cenk, what is North Korea doing in the way they build their firewalls and fencing effectively, that we don't see a lot of North Korean output, but we do see it from obviously from Iran and elsewhere?
Well, Iran is a far more modern country. They have the internet, they have cell phones, they have satellite dishes, etc. And once you have that infrastructure, it's hard to keep things out. And you could shut down different parts of the press, but it's hard to shut everything down. That's why Twitter worked so well during the government. The mullahs couldn't figure out how to bring down Twitter for quite some time. But in North Korea, they don't have any of that infrastructure. The people are so poor, and they're kept that way by their dictators, partly on purpose, because they don't want them to be able to be empowered for any way. And so the best thing we can do for North Korea is to give them some of this stuff. I know it's a hell of a problem to deal with in North Korea, but always more technology helps us and helps the people that are looking for freedom.